So, you're out at sea, maybe on a relaxing boat trip, and suddenly, bam a whale swallows you whole. Total Pinocchio situation. Now you're sitting there in the dark, soggy belly of a massive sea creature thinking, okay, can I actually survive this? Let's find out, because today we're asking, could you survive inside a whale like Pinocchio? First off, credit where it's due, Disney made it look oddly cozy. A little boat, some lanterns, a wooden puppet boy and his cricket buddy just hanging out in the belly of a beast. In reality, yeah, not so charming. Let's start with the basics. The whale in the story was named Monstro and looked like a blue whale, so let's go with that. Blue whales are the largest animals to have ever existed. Ever. Bigger than dinosaurs. They can be up to 100 feet long and weigh 200 tons. So, space-wise, you'd have plenty of room. They've got throats big enough to swallow entire schools of fish in one gulp. But here's the thing, blue whales don't eat people. Or anything close in size. They're filter feeders. They eat krill, tiny shrimp-like creatures, by gulping huge amounts of water and then straining the food out with baleen plates. Their throat is surprisingly narrow. As in, a grapefruit might have trouble squeezing through. You? Not happening. But let's say, somehow, through a freak scenario or a magical plot twist, you end up inside a whale. Maybe it's not a blue whale. Maybe it's a sperm whale, which does have a throat big enough to swallow a human. Those guys dive deep, eat giant squid, and have stomachs that could, technically, fit you. So now you're inside. What's that like? First, dark. Like, total, pitch black, can't see your own hand kind of dark. Second, wet. Not just damp, fully soaked, stomach acid levels of wet. The whale's stomach is filled with digestive fluids, and guess what those fluids are designed to do? Yep, dissolve things. Like squid. And, unfortunately, you. There's also the lack of air. Whales don't breathe through their mouths, they breathe through blowholes. So you're not getting a refreshing ocean breeze in there. You're getting stale, low oxygen, acid fume-filled gas. Breathing would be, at best, unpleasant. At worst, deadly. And don't forget about the pressure. Sperm whales dive thousands of feet into the ocean. The pressure down there is intense. If you're in the stomach while the whale dives, your ears would pop, your lungs might collapse, and your odds of survival? Dropping faster than the whale. Now, let's bust some myths. Myth number 1, you can set up camp and chill like Pinocchio. Nope. There's no flat floor, no furniture, and no way to light a fire. Starting a fire inside a whale would not only be wildly impractical, it would also be extremely rude to the whale. Also, no oxygen, remember? Myth number 2, you could climb back out. Not likely. Even if you avoided digestion, you'd still have to reverse engineer your way up a slimy, muscular tunnel, against gravity, and possibly while the whale is hundreds of meters underwater. So unless you're Spider-Man covered in non-slip whale goo, good luck. Myth number 3, people have survived this before. There's a famous tale of a whaler named James Bartley who supposedly got swallowed by a sperm whale and survived. But historians now agree this story is probably not true, or at the very least, greatly exaggerated. No confirmed cases of humans surviving inside whales exist in any reliable scientific records. So, could you survive inside a whale? Technically. For a few minutes, maybe. If the whale didn't swallow you all the way, and you were stuck in its mouth, you might have a short window to escape. But once you're in the stomach, it's lights out. Between digestive juices, lack of air, and intense pressure, it's one of the least survivable places on, or in, the planet. Still, it's a fascinating idea. It speaks to our love for the wild, the mythic, the absurd. And even though real life doesn't work like a fairy tale, thinking through the science behind these stories can be weirdly wonderful. So the next time you hear someone say, just pull a Pinocchio and wait it out in the whale, you'll know exactly why that's not going to work. Unless you are, in fact, a wooden puppet immune to digestion. In which case, carry on. If you enjoyed this dive into deep-sea hypotheticals, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-bending science questions with a twist. And drop your favorite, what if, scenario in the comments. Maybe we'll turn it into our next video. Stay curious, and maybe, stay out of whales.